Today I'm going to attempt to restore an old toolbox. Let's see what we'll first need, probably. Of course, I'm wearing my safety glasses. We'll need a face mask for stripping the paint and spray painting it, cordless drill, various wire brushes. I've got a wire brush attachment for my Dremel, which I'm also going to use to get into the tighter spots. Probably need some WD-40, maybe some brake cleaner if there's some particularly dirty parts that I need to clean out the toolbox. And of course, I've got the toolbox itself. I don't know exactly what brand it is. I just picked it up at a flea market, but it's kind of nice. It's got like this fold-out tray. In an ideal world, I would probably want to remove the rivets so I can really get in here and try to clean it up, but I don't really have a rivet gun, so I'll do that. The bottom looks kind of okay. You know, there's no holes at the very least, so I'm gonna try to remove all that rust, all that paint. Oh yeah, I also have a new toy. I've got a bench grinder, but I put a wire brush attachment to it. I took the protective cover off because it didn't fit in there without it, and it's actually much easier for me to work around. So let's get started. Let's start by removing this ancient tape, and now I'm gonna use the bench grinder on it. I'm just gonna give it a quick do-over, see how this works. Let me put on my face mask. There we go. And for all I know, this is very old and probably covered, maybe it's covered in lead paint. Anyways, you get the idea. I'm gonna do this for a while and see how much I can get off. Okay, so after about 20 minutes of using the bench grinder with a wire brush, I was able to get it mostly down to bare metal on all sides. Some of these crevices I couldn't get into. That's what I'm gonna probably use the Dremel for. Then, of course, the inside, which I haven't done yet. I grabbed a pair of carbon steel brushes here and attach it to my Dremel. Alright, got the wire brush on the Dremel. Gonna set it to, say, 21,000 RPM. And gonna hack away at some of the spots I missed. I actually think that this bit might be superior. Be able to cover more surface instead of just the small side like I'm using. We get to use this much surface area. Swapped out. Let's see what we can do. So moving on to the inside. I don't think I'm going to actually touch the tray itself. The tray looks good, it just needs to be cleaned a bit. But this stuff needs to go. I'm going to use I switched over to a corded drill. So I'm going to do this for a while. And I'm probably going to tackle this too. It's kind of tough to get in there. I was able to get the inside relatively clean, just using the drill, the wire brush attached to it. These corners are really tough to get to, so I'm just gonna do it by hand with a piece of sandpaper. Alright, the surface was more or less cleaned up. Doesn't really need to be perfect. Next I'm just gonna blow a bit of air in here, get some of this dust out. The rest I'm gonna just use a rag, wet it maybe with a bit of brake cleaner just to get any excess grease off. And then we should be pretty much good to spray paint. Well, not before taping off the stuff we don't want to get painted. I've got some Rust-Oleum Rusty Metal Primer. Surface is already prepped. I'm gonna do my best to get in here and prime the inside surface. And so on and so forth. Just gonna try to get every surface inside this thing. I suppose, I might as well get the tray. All right, let that dry for a while. I'm gonna mask off this latch because it seems to have a bit of an anodized finish that I like. On second thought, nah, just gonna do it all. I'm gonna wire brush this, get it bare. I'm gonna paint that too. Everything gets painted, screw it. Right, clean it all off and prime the whole thing. Well, minus the bottom. It's gonna come a bit later when this dries and I can pick it up and flip it over. Okay, primer is more or less dry. I'm gonna spray the inside and then I'm gonna also prime the bottom. Let's try to coat the inside of this. Oh, okay. This is a flat black finish for metal and other things as well. Alright, while that dries, I'm gonna prime the bottom, which I haven't done yet. Alright, gonna let that dry now. Alright, the inside has more or less dried. I'm gonna give it another coat. Alright. And get the outside now too. The good thing about that primer being brown color is that I can easily see it. So I was trying to do a black primer with black spray paint. I won't be able to see what I'm covering and what I'm not. Looks pretty good. Let me clear the nozzle for storage by putting the can upside down and spraying for a little bit. And an added bonus, what I'm doing here is I've got a Mr. Heater, a big Mr. Heater. And I'm just gonna crank the heat to accelerate the cure time. Am I supposed to do that? Don't ask me, I have no idea, but it seems to help. I don't have too much time here. I'm gonna start wrapping things up. Hey there, fella. Alright, and that's pretty much how you restore an old toolbox. Kind of hard to see here in the dark. Add to the fact that this thing is blacker than the blackest black times infinity, but I think it came out pretty nice. I'll take some pictures in the morning when it's done curing.